Good morning. Today we're going to learn Halacha in Rambam Hilchos Me'ilah. Rambam Perek Beis Halacha Beis writes a couple of halachas really. First, the rule: Kol Kodesh Kodeshim Mayalim Behem Shehugdashat Sheyizer Kadam. All Kodesh Kodeshim, meaning that you can't really have any, you can't use it for yourself at any point right now. Till Zrikas Adam, it is holy, totally without any ability to make any use of it. However, Nizr Kadam, once there's been Zrika, Moilin Behem B'davar Shekulay Le'ishim, At Sheyisareh, till it's burnt. In other words, anything that's going on in Mizbeach, till it's burnt, you can use. Yatzil Beis Adeshin, it goes out to the Beis Adeshin. However, those things that you could eat, there's no meal. And then he goes through again the actual cases, and then he brings out all the meals. Once they're done with the straight. Okay, now comes Halacha Hey. V'chein Parah Adumah. Moya limbo. You can be moyal in a Parah Adumah from the moment it became holy till it is burnt and it becomes ashes, even though we're going to use those ashes. Now the Rambam seemingly is asking a question, and the problem is, what's his question? We don't know. And there's a big dispute over this question. So, therefore, says chatas. Okay. Beautiful words. We have no idea what he's saying yet. Utanai bezdinu. Now he has another line. And a person should not have should not have mi'ayvra on the Eifrapa. Now, if somebody were to read this Rambam, this is what you would walk away with. Somehow or another, there's a problem with the fact that it's like Kotchevedek Abayis. And the answer is Chatasi. Now, somebody asks you why Tak is the halacha that after it becomes Eifer, there's no Me'ilah. It's not better. But that is definitely not correct, and we'll find out why. So the Kesef Mishnah asks on the Rambam, what's this Afal Pi? The halacha is Kodesh Bedek Abayis is Me'ilah Behem forever. If anything, there's more Me'ilah there. Because their whole Kedusha is done. So the Kesef Mishnah says something that arouses a lot of ire amongst and we will attempt to explain what it means, perhaps. But the Ashishivas don't like it. I mean, referring out to Rabbi Zalman, Rabbi Nozel, and Rabbi Chaim, they go a different approach. But listen to the words of he's saying. That Rambam is asking, so he says, he doesn't mean Avishani can kosher bedek. It means it's not like anything. It's not kosher mizbeach or kosher bedek abayis. It's similar to kosher bedek abayis. So if so, there shouldn't be any me'ilah. So, and the answer is Torah called it chatas. That's what. So the Rambam's question: why is there me'ilah at all on a parah? The answer is chatas kayan. Now, why isn't there by Efer? Because it's not best. That's he doesn't say that, but that's the way the flow. At least now there's a flow in the words of the Rambam. The Mrs. Alma doesn't like it. The Gemara calls it and therefore he comes up with a interesting concept that Kotche Bedek Abayis is Kedushas Doma. In order to be chayiv, there has to be a hefset. You have to have taken something from Hegdish that Hegdish can benefit from. What did he do? Kachim Mizbeach does not need hefsek. Kachim Bedek does. So he brings out, again, I'm not going into all his arichas, said that for Parah there's no hefsek. Can't do anything with it. So therefore, the question somehow is that the only reason there could be there could be Me'ilah is because of the din chatos. Chatos is not totally in hefsek. And if so, we need a miyut chatos ivelayaf. That's it. In other words, the Rambam is alluding to things that he doesn't write about. A bunch of things. What was the question of Ava Bishik Kutcher Adumah? Again, just like this. Even though it's Kutcher Adumah, and therefore you need to have a hefsek, and there is no hefsek on the money. So therefore you would be high. And then some another reason says no, but Chatasi also teaches us not. Yeah. At least to give some context to what the Rambam is saying. Chaim goes with a different approach. It's interesting. Mrs. Alman writes at the end of his thing that he found it. Chaim writes about it. Go look there. That's the right way. As you know, he had a very big bittul to Chaim, and therefore Chaim wrote that's the approach. So he says the truth of Chaim is a lot glatter in what the Rambam is saying, no question. So he goes a different way. Based on a tesis, Nasis mitzvah, say the halacha that he finished the mitzvah. So tesis asks, it's Nasis mitzvah after it's burnt. So the answer is that here it's not Nasis mitzvah. But kind of the Chaim that it's not shaykh. The idea of Nasis mitzvah is only by Kotchim Mizbeach, not by Kotchim Bedek Habayis. Because there it's different. Because it's still Kedushas Damim. Who cares? Who cares Nasis mitzvah? So he's saying that the Chiddush of the Gemara is that Chatasi tells you it has a din of like Kotchim Mizbeach. And therefore, just like the din Chatos takes away, it says that Nasis mitzvah, so that's what I mean. So therefore, Kedushas Damim should also go away. So the Kashi Avavishi Kedushas Bedek Habayis means so therefore it should be there should be Me'ilah even in the Eifer. So the answer is Chatos Kairachmana. And therefore it takes away the Sreif, goes away the din Chatos and takes away the din Kedushas Damim from it. The din of Me'ilah from Kedushas Damim. And there is sarcasm that it takes away. Now, why? It's still not. Why is it Nasim mitzvah? Okay, it shouldn't be Nasim mitzvah. According to he still has to be tight. This is it's not a din akrova type of thing. It's a higher thing. So it's Nasim mitzvah and it's chatos. The avodah in the Parah is done. Now there's a new thing. I have now for it to go sprinkle. That's a whole new thing began now. A new process. He goes back on that. He goes more than it just fits in a good. It's nice, very nice. But let's go back to the Kesef Mishnah. Kesef Mishnah doesn't say that. Kesef Mishnah does not learn that Apapisha Kedushas Damim is a reason why it should be moil in the Eif Faket. It's a reason why you shouldn't be moil altogether. So what's going on? The Kesef Mishnah is bothered by the Afalpi. But he doesn't stress the question of kikotche bedek habayis. Like they have another, it's called kotche bedek habayis or what? So obviously, because based on his answer, because it's not really kosher bedek, so that's the key kosher bedek. So let's understand what is going on here. Not kosher bedek, not mizbeach. So what is it? What kedusha? And then, as we said, what is it on? Let's just understand it on the words. What is he talking about? Where do you get this from? How does it make up things? There's a sugya in the Menachos, Nunalef, base. The Gemara there says that there was a Tnai Bezin on Parah Shiur. Listen to it; it's very important. So why are we talking about Tnai Bezin? It's a pasuk chatasi v'lei ba'afra. You know, not moil and afra. So the Gemara says no. The of course, you're not moil, but kivan the chozu the kamizalzu libo the ka'av the minol michtam gozer b'meila. So they saw that they were doing it lemichtam. We'll see soon what that means. So they made exera. Then let's go to the next. Even the chazu the kaparshi, the suffix hazoyus, they stopped doing it because of suffix hazoyus. Ukma deraisa. And that's what the Kesher says. That when the Rambam says Tnai Bezin means ukma deraisa. But the pell is okay. Now, what is the story? The story is like this. There are different versions of how to understand it. But the one thing's for sure that people were using it to the afer to heal wounds. Now, Rabbi Gershon says, but then Chacham saw that people are not bringing. They're not coming to with shilas of tumas meis because they're afraid. They don't want to be mile in the offer and the afer. So they dropped the halacha. Rambam doesn't say that. Rambam says that the Kahanim were doing it. They were using it on their wounds. And when they stopped and they went back, so they went back that then they shouldn't be mile. The Rambam is missing the whole discussion. There's no indication it's midraisa that you're not mile. It's only the Rabbanan. What is going on here? Why does he mention them in Atayr Zayn? Okay, so let's take step by step. Rashi in Parshas Chukas on this pasuk of Chatos he writes, Chatasi, the Pasha Taich Chatasi means purifying. Chitui, sprinkling. According to the halachas. Now listen to this. Kara hakosov chatas loimer shikekotchim lihi oser b'hana. Torah called it a chatas in order to be like kotchim that's oser b'hana. Brisker Rav Menachos is medayik from this Rashi. The Rashi is not learning that Chatas is a heter, not after all that. Chatas is the only reason it's us. If not, it would be mutter, even bedek habayis. It doesn't. That's the way he learns Rashi. Perhaps this is the Kesef Mishnah, this Rashi. Parah Adumah is not really kosher mizbeach, and it's not really kosher bedek. It's not kosher mizbeach for sure. It's not even really kosher bedek. Why is there an isser? It's a new din. Chatas. The Torah called it chatas, as Rashi says, shehi kekotchim le'osabano. That's it. Torah made a new din. A new din. Torah is a new category. There's kosher bedek habayis, it's kosher mizbeach, and there's Parah Adumah. It's similar to there's a similarity to bedek habayis. That's why it's kosher bedek habayis, and that's why the Gemara refers to it always as kosher bedek habayis. But it's only daimil of bedek habayis. It's only daimil. And that's why he writes ki kosher. And therefore he asks, why are we moyel? It's not really kosher. That's the Kesef understanding. I can't. The chof is the question. It's only kikach. I would be saying kikach. And the answer is the Torah wrote chatos. So there's a new isser, that it should have the isser of kosher. But it's not kosher mizbeach, and it's not kosher belekabay. There's no avodah. There's no. It's a whole different concept, and that's why there's an isser. I think that this, according to Rashi, this Kesef mission is beautiful, and Rambam comes out beautiful. But let's now go back to the Tanai Bezdin. Why doesn't he say Ein Bamili? He says Tanai Bezdin. I want to say that it's obvious on the fact the way the Rambam learns Tanai Bezdin that there is no other way to learn that there is no Milim out there. Because if not, this Tanai Bezdin couldn't work. Why? The Karen Eira in Menachos wants to build on this Rambam. He says, since they became good, so now let's just go. According to the Rabbi Gershon, the reason we were battled that din is because we were losing out the whole halacha of Adumah. People weren't doing Adumah when they should. According to the Rambam, which is based on Yerushalmi, you can hear quotes Yerushalmi. Since they became good, so now we took away the halacha. There was nothing wrong with that. Halacha wasn't causing any problems. It says the Rambam Paskins in Hilchis Mamrim that you can't just take away a gzera from a previous bezin. Something has been accepted in Klal Yisrael. To be godel and Yeshayim b'chacham and minyan. You know, where did this come from? Now, the Rabbi argues in it, but the Rambam L'shita said. So how did the Rambam L'shita say, that they just were mevatel? There's no purpose being mevatel. We're not losing anything. And that's what I think the Kesef Mishnah is alluding to. The Rambam Al-Kochach learns that there's really not a real Isser in this takana. They made a gzeira of meila. The Griz asks in Menachos, what's going on in it? There's nothing wrong with it, and it's not even holy. You can theoretically be mekadosh Eisha. Besides for problems that come up, what do we care if they're using it l'michta? Why would we care? So the Rambam was a kohen, he was a chumrah, and as a heroes in the Indian of Paraduma, like you find many chumras they made. But it's not a real, they didn't take away the rice at all. So therefore, they're able to battle it as soon as it's irrelevant. As soon as there's no effect on Paraduma, there's the heroes of Paraduma. And there's nothing in the Machmeh anymore. And that's the verse. So when it says tonight, he's telling you there's no Me'ilah Midrash. That's what that statement means. Okay. Atzlocha Rabba, seid gesund und stark. And be well. And have a great day. Atzlocha.